Well, there you are again. Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day today. So let's talk the paranormal, shall we? First, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the info is in the description for Zelle. Let's do this. So, man, I think it's safe to say that we've all dealt with the paranormal, perhaps. Um, Ghost, Bigfoot, Loch Ness, whatever it is. Uh, I've seen a bunch of stuff. Witnessed it just about everywhere I lived. Um, LA has a shit. Los Angeles, City of Angels. Believe me, there's stuff. I've seen presence of Bigfoot and hairy cryptids in the middle of the city. Like, and I wasn't the only one. Meaning I was there and a crowd of people saw it too. Come here. My dogs, we've seen stuff. I think they call them like night crawlers, the thing without the arms, kind of glowing. I saw one of those. Uh, Then that guy, I saw it in this guy's backyard, and the next morning, he was like a championship rabbit breeder or something. All his rabbits had like a hole in their head, and they were all dead. Um, then he moved. Of course, I didn't tell anybody. I saw that. I was like, "Why did he leave in the middle? Why did he?" Well, I ain't gonna say what I saw. And again, my dog saw it first and reacted, and they ran so fast back to be over there on their leashes. Hit me in the shin. I mean, it gave me a knot on my shin. I fell in these bushes, and then they started dragging me. These are little dogs. They were freaking out. Me too. After I saw this, it was casting off its own light. It had like I swear it had a cape on with the little peanut-headed alien-looking thing. No arms. Uh, yeah. So the paranormal. And I've talked about this. You can go back through the episodes I've done. And comment below. Comment what you've seen and what you've experienced. Because I know everybody has, a lot. I get it that you don't want to talk about it. I get that you're like, oh no, I don't want to say anything. Because shit, you want people to think you're crazy. Huxley said it was the doors of perception. See, certain people have this better perception, and they'll be able to see certain things because they're around, man. I mean, I've seen such over and over and over again. I've seen strange things. Uh, you got to be careful. Um, I interviewed at the Pantages Theater, which is on Hollywood Boulevard. They literally were like, "Hey, man, it's haunted. Okay, we lose people. That's why we're interviewing you because this ghost." And I was like, "No, I don't want the Pantages Theater, like a prestigious theater. They were open about it. Just like, yeah, well, you're going to see it and you're going to deal with it. And no, I'm not because I'm not working here. They couldn't keep employees because of this ghost." When I worked at the Hollywood $10 boutique on Hollywood Boulevard, they called it the gin. These persons I work for, there's a gin in there. And I witnessed some shit. They wouldn't go in the morning. They're waiting outside, hand me the keys. Like, you go in, you turn on all the lights, and you come back and tell us it's okay. And it was creepy in there. That's where they had the first Oscars upstairs. It was the theater that they turned into a warehouse. This creepy. And I've told that story too. But I think that it is perception. I think that these things are happening all around us all the time. And it's just, you can perceive certain things. Some people aren't. They can't even perceive themselves. They see themselves in a different light that other people see. They think they're different what they project, meaning some people you can record their voice or record their on video and they'll be like, I ain't me. I don't sound like that. I don't look like that. Yeah, you do. What is the video lying? I mean, a lot of people like that. My students were like that. I taught vocal lessons, singing lessons, and they'd be like, I don't sound like that. But you just recorded it with your own phone. What did you do to my phone? I didn't touch your phone. And storm out like, I sound like Whitney Houston. No, you don't. You're flat and you're off key. So the point I'm trying to make is your perception. If you can't even perceive what you are, then how are you going to see something else? It's strange how people that are perceptive about themselves then see all this other stuff. That's my experience. Now, it could be someone else's. That's just my humble opinion, you know, because people are fools. Fools do really well. Shit, fools are successful because most people are fools. I hate to, be the bearer of bad news, but it isn't the, come on. I'm a fool too, but not all the time. See, we play these roles in life. And I see things. Now, I'm not schizophrenic or whatever the fuck it is, but there's things that, like, not all the time, but I'll pick up on stuff. Uh, Usually my dogs do too. Like, like a movement and it's a little dart of something. And what the? Because I've seen it all. I've seen gnomes. I've seen all kinds of crazy shit. Now, you think I'm crazy. And that gnome I saw literally had a little outfit on and a hat and, saw it. And then you read about them, gnomes, and people said they've been seeing them for thousands of years. So it's like, it ain't just me. It looked fake. That's another thing. Lots of stuff that I've seen look fake. Like, what did I just see? It looked like something you would, like a bad B movie, like a horror movie. I saw it. I've seen the damnedest shit. Again, comment below. What do you think? What did you see? What did you witness? I've been actually wanting to, once I get out and about, I want a podcast, like some kind of paranormal society, some kind of like ghost society or Bigfoot or Dog Man or whatever. Granted, I don't want to go out into the field and like do research. I just want to interview them, see what they say. I've seen a dog man. It was a female too, and I wasn't the only one that saw it. We saw it. It was right beside Arcadia Junior High School. It was after the lockdown. They let everybody out. Everybody's in the front of the junior highs, and this is a big junior high. It's almost like a park. So people were out and about. There was so many people out. My dogs reacted. I told this story before. My dogs reacted. I look up, and there's this like bulging kind of furry mass behind this car. And people are walking right 5-10 feet from it and not even reacting, pushing baby strollers. I'm like, what in the hell? I look back down at my dogs. They reacted again. Look up, and here's this thing with a huge head. It was so big, it was like bigger than its shoulders. It looked fake. Had a grin on it. It was bobbing. It had breast. It was a female. I look around, and one lady was filming it. So it wasn't just me that saw it. And I took off. I was like, man, the hell did I just see? And there's no woods around. Where did this thing come from? And what was that bulging mass? Did it just form? I don't know. Then it was gone. It was there. It was gone. Boom. The strange thing, the people closest to it didn't even react. Like they didn't see it. We were about a couple 100 feet away. And we, like, oh shit. There was about 10 of us. But there was a lot of people. Blankets on the grass and kids and, playing. Stupid. The dogs just I went cutting through backyards and parking lots just to get home. What did I just see? It looked fake. Matter of fact, I was racking my brain that night, like, man, are they putting on a play like the junior high? Are they like, but where did it go? But there's no for it to disappear, huh? Again, these are things uncomfortable to talk about, but I have a podcast, dude. Might as well talk about. And just kind of, like where I'm at right now in Illinois, I don't know if there's owls or not, or that's how people that are creeping communicate. Pardon me, but lately, I've been hearing this owl, like, hoo, right at night. My dog, she hears it. She's like, oh, let's get back. And I always listen to her, like, it's kind of dark. I'm going to take your advice and just head back home. I don't know. I've heard it like, I've been here 8 months. I probably heard it like 3 or 4 times. And you just have that feeling like the hair stands at the back of your neck. Like, what in the, again, my thought was like, maybe people are, you know, robbing people. That's how they communicate. See somebody do a howl. Ooh, ooh, hey, someone's there. So I don't know. Strange. There's this eerie, like where I'm at living at now. I got to admit, there's something eerie about this area. I don't know what it is. It's just, and other people talk about it too. Like, it's just strange. All the trees are dying, and like the town is kind of disappearing and stuff. But there's certain places, even like when I lived in Los Angeles, it's dangerous sometimes, and people are whatever. But man, there's this, like, you can just feel the happiness. You can feel the joy and I don't know, the sunlight maybe, or the smell of the fruit trees. But then there's other places in LA that are like you get in LA, like Hollywood proper, down by like Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard and all that. I guess it's the highs and the lows, the misery and this, that, and the other. Some of those, but it just has this feeling about it. People pick up on it. Like when I was on the microphone, I was the carnival barker. Basically, I was a salesman. Tourists be like, "What is it about this? This is creepy." They could pick it up. There's no telling what happened on. There's also I don't know if it's a myth or whatever, but there's this tale about on I think it's Franklin Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard. Like once every few years or whatever, there is a bunch of like Native Americans on horses that go running down the street, and cops have chased this, and then they can't find them, and it's like a recurring kind of thing. And they talk about it. It's a thing. It's in the newspaper. It's just that. So the thing is like, well, where'd all those horses go? Where'd all these people dressed like Native American? Just weird. Again, comment below. What have you experienced? Because some people are into like certain things, ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, whatever. Every little area has kind of like the region has like and it's been like this forever. Like the region will have like a certain like myth or mythology about some kind of like paranormal activity. Don't you think that's strange? That all through time they've, where I'm from in Tennessee, they had the Bell Witch. The Bell Witch. We went hunting as kids, and I did you can go find my episode about that. Kind of funny. We thought we saw her at the end. My grandmother used to read about the Bell Witch, Bell Witch. And Andrew Jackson, who became the president at the time, I think he actually went there and investigated. He witnessed some stuff. I mean, all through time, times will change, but then there's these, again, paranormal myths, the mythology of this kind of like stuff that happens that people can't explain all through time. It's shit. And of course, people are gonna, embellish. And I saw it, I've seen ghosts. Matter of fact, when I used to live in this town I'm in now, when I was a kid, I saw a Civil War ghost. He saw me too. He reacted to me, and that was the scariest part about it. And he was leaning up against a tree that disappeared. Like there wasn't a tree, this big old tree across the street from our house. No, they wasn't there. He was leaning up against it, and it kind of just dissipated in front of him. And he saw me. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, did he see me back then too? Was it like time, I don't know. The house we lived in this old house. You'd always hear people walking around upstairs, and everybody did that came over. Like, who's up there? Like, it's just cracking, Try to play it off. Well, no, I hear like multiple footsteps. I can hear like boots. Then I can hear like, regular shoe. Well, I never did see anything in the house. I did feel and hear, mostly like you'd hear this stuff. I wonder what's going on there now. I think it's like a bed and breakfast now. But yeah, there's just all through time, different regions. If you go out into the desert, there's just things that they warn you about. Hey, in the Skinwalker Ranch, I don't know if you guys know about the Skinwalker Ranch, but it was Robert Bigelow bought it, and the people had paranormal experience. And then they had he had a government contract to study and they found all this crazy stuff. A lot of it's they won't talk about. And even before it became a ranch, like in the 1800s or whatever, the Native Americans around that area would go around it. Wouldn't it was in their hunting like area? They was like, nope, just go around, and they knew back then. Like they've always known. And they warned the first rancher, like, dude, you don't want to be living here. It's like, oh, this is perfect land. Well, you'll find out. And everything was going on, like orbs and aliens and UFOs. And we're talking about before a UFO was coined. People were seeing these craft back in the day. Because the word UFO, unidentified flying object, was coined around like 1947, 1948 by a pilot. Flying saucer, maybe that's what he coined. So it looked like a saucer flying. In formation, they said there's like 8 of them. So a lot of these times within our time or whatever, we will coin these terms. Like I think a dog man is the same as a skinwalker, and a Bigfoot is the same as a Sasquatch, and there's different times, different people, different names, but it's the same thing. It could be who knows, And they say certain people attract like paranormal. And there's people that can sense it, like I forget what they call them, but it's just a strange world, strange, mysterious world we live in. I think dogs can see more than, because my dog, or when I had dogs, multiple, they were always, and sometimes I would see what they were looking at, If you talk to hunters that are willing to talk, these guys are out in the woods a lot, all the time, grew up in the woods. Eventually, they're going to see something. Like, I've been in the woods all my life, and if you like, there's a Bigfoot Chronicles, I think it's called. Yeah, Bigfoot Chronicles. Listen to them. And I haven't listened in a while, but my favorite stories were about these hunters that spent time in the woods like all their life. And I'm talking deep in the woods. Eventually would see stuff and encounter hairy beasts and naked, skinny, pale people and dogmen and God knows what else. Portals and all kinds of stuff. Lucky to get out of there alive and won't go back in the woods. Leave their deer stand, everything. Leave, run, or back away. They don't want to run. So those are more believable that a guy, a hunter, like he's seen it all. I mean, they know every kind of print. They'll tell you what that is and this and that. And scat, they'll know, oh, that's this, that's some poo. They'll know these things. They'll know if a game trail, like where the animals will make their own trails, And they know more than the layman on the street because they're in the woods. So for them not to be able to wrap their head around it and, oh my God, like they probably are telling the truth, because they're people that, anytime you have something like that, people are going to be bullshitting. I know that too. I'm not dumb. Like, yeah, we are out in the woods. I had things when I used to run the creek growing up in Tennessee, spend my summers, usually it was in the summer, and I'd get deep in the creek where the woods are. And sometimes it would just change. Like all of a sudden it's just quiet and you don't hear anything. And like you lose your hearing. Like you can't hear the water running or everything kind of looks different, the colors. And then all of a sudden it comes back. Anytime that would happen, I would just head home. And it would come back. You start hearing the stream again and stuff. It's like, what the hell? And Native Americans say that there's certain entities in the woods that can do that to you. They can put like a little head mind trip on you, um, like a warning. What's it called? Not ultrasound, but tigers and lions have it too. They have this way to kind of paralyze you for their prey, infrasound or something like that. Um, it's something. I've had some weird paranormal stuff that like reoccurred, you know, and some of it's not though. Some of it's just like weird life. You can't explain it. It's just, some of it's just like, wait a minute. But you have to look into such things. Again, people don't want to think about it because I don't want to think about that. So people go looking for it. I will go searching for this said, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Again, comment below. What have you seen? What have you experienced? I know people have. Come on, it's a good, time to get off your chest. Comment. We've all seen UFOs and stuff, or weird lights. Again, there's light phenomena. There's like ball lightning and lightning spikes or something. What do they call them? But yeah, I plan on interviewing multiple, um, societies, whatever it is, paranormal society, Bigfoot, UFO, alien, haunting, dogman, whatever. I want to pick their brain to see, because all these people that are into it and go in investigate, they've never seen anything. That's another thing that's fascinating. It's like, why are they so, you'd think that they would experience and they would know. Some of them haven't, but they're diehard, wanting to. You never know. Maybe they're due to be seeing something. Maybe they don't want to. But you got to have faith too. You don't want to be going into, every ancient book talks about some crazy stuff, man. Now, granted, some of it could be like, parables but all through time, there are weird things that they, all through time. They're in a old book that you can't read that not talk about, like the Loch Ness monster. That's been going on for. When they had castles and stuff, don't go near the. They've been seeing this thing. It could be like an ancient dinosaur. They don't even know how deep that lock goes, so it's like maybe it survived. There could be explanations for a lot of this stuff. Certain people, I guess, have better perception, so they can see certain things. Again, I think it has to do with perception. I think you have to, I don't know if open-minded is the right word to use, but like your just perception of like things around you, maybe that's it. Maybe you see things because you can perceive it. Because I've been around, again, there's been times where I witnessed something paranormal and others didn't see it. We're standing right there. I didn't see anything. That's weird. How is that? They had the same eyesight we did, huh? Shit. I saw so much strange stuff in LA that again, it's a major city. There's parks and stuff, but the trees are sparse and there's nowhere to hide, meaning, where would you, it isn't like, Maybe they have a cloaking ability. I don't know. I saw a raven. A raven's like a big crow. There's crows and then there's ravens, these big black shiny raven. I saw this raven get attacked by something blurry, about 2 foot high. It looked like a little predator. If you've ever seen the movie The Predator, had cloaks, you can kind of see that's what it looked like. And man, it messed up this raven. And the other ravens were trying to attack this see-through kind of, I don't even know, man. I took off. Again, it's just like, why did I happen to see it? It happened right above me. I was walking. I used to do walk a lot in the park, and I was going home. And they were on these power lines or whatever, in a tree, like near it. It happened right above me, like 10 foot above me, and like feathers were falling on my what? And I tried to go, but there was traffic. I had to wait to the traffic, and then I went across the street, didn't look back. Like, man, and this invisible little thing was like clicking, like in the Predator. That's what that thing did. I don't know. I mean, it was small. Again, I guess you don't want to mess with it. If you're a raven, that is. It was cool how the other ravens kind of protected this other. This raven was probably going to die. I mean, it was beat up, and how they were surrounded it, and then going after the, and they they were loud. They sounded like dogs. It almost sounded like they were barking. Like I never heard because ravens were, man, they were going off. I never heard them doing that. Just crazy. And people were looking around, and as I crossed the street, I kind of tried to say something. Point people were like, "You think I think you're crazy?" It's best not to say anything. So I didn't. I didn't go back looking for that thing either. I mean, and that was only maybe a half a block from the junior high that I used to live by in Arcadia, where I saw this female dog man or woman or whatever it was. And I wasn't the only one. That's what I mean. There was other people that saw this thing. Some woman filmed it. I'm sure I wish she'd uploaded or something. Maybe she has. But it's weird. And what are you going to do, man? I mean, people are going to think you're crazy. He's crazy. Or she's crazy. So I get it. Sometimes maybe you don't want to, keep your mouth shut about certain things. And people do. You don't want to know. No. Again, people start looking at you differently. I come from the artist world. I'm an artist, so it's like I don't really care. But, again, I'm not going around. Sometimes if you're talking in a circle and people talk about, bring it up, you might say something. And I have a podcast to do. Of course, I'm going to talk about it. So, comment below. What have you seen? What have you experienced? Or maybe you've got a friend that saw something, a parent, whatever. Maybe the area you're in, the town, there's a legend of some kind of, Mothman or whatever it is. Perhaps you never know. Could be. But look, I do this every day. Not necessarily about the paranormal, but hey, you never know. So I'll be back tomorrow. Ranting and raving about something. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.